of Team Secret. But speaking of champions, we're now into the draft. Ladies and gentlemen, set your eyes into the screen because this is where it all begins.
As we can see on the draft, we have Team Secret on blue side removing Lee Sin right away. And Ziggs, so far, I don't think we've seen Ziggs this week, actually. They've actually wanted to delete the Ziggs Lux combo that we saw last week, where Team Secret would constantly play that. Gragas has been that heavy disengage potential for a squad, so they're removing that. Team Secret is removing that. Excited to see what will Team Secret's first pick is going to be. Maybe a Camille as usual.
A Camille and Akali is going to be open for Team Secret. It is a potential for them to pick it up. Akali yesterday was a massive champion for Team Secret, and they're now locking into it as their first pick.
I love this pick very much. You know, Azar did play it a couple of times here in the North Luzon group stage. Meanwhile, for Ikaros, we're not very sure whether or not that's still going to be top side or Baron laner Camille, or that will be put on towards Xpear. Usually we see Xpear either on the Lee Sin as well, but that's taken out of the table. So very curious how this matchup is going to go.
Absolutely. I mean, yesterday, I think the panels have talked about it with Xpear picking up the Pantheon with the spear on his hand. But Kai'Sa is not going to be the priority here by GXR. They want to pick it up for the ADC on their team. Now, Team Secret has the potential to answer with a Vi. Those single targeted CCs are going to be very important because Kai'Sa is a mobile champion.
That's true. I mean, even though there are a bunch of nerfs on towards Vi, mainly towards the cooldown of the Battery, just as you mentioned, still gonna be so good in locking down targets. But Draven, again, we're seeing Chewy for the second time on this champion. I'm so excited. I wonder if they exchanged Draven, a Lux Draven rotation over denying that Braum away from Galaxy Racer.
Yeah, and I think Team Secret wants to repeat history here from yesterday on to today. With the Lux and Draven having that light binding when it comes to level 1, and Draven very strong at level 1 as well when it comes to damage. They want to punish GXR when it comes to the early game. But Braum and Graves, this leads GXR to match it up with the early game of Team Secret. They have a ranged jungler, and this may be in favor of them when it comes to jungle invade in the first few minutes. But Wukong is going to be the answer here, and Yasuo to follow through for the side of Team Secret.
I mean, when you see a Wukong, either you pair that up with a Katarina or a Yasuo, as we've seen yesterday. And this is just so massive. Team Secret has a lot of damage output. And you have to be a little bit worried because where is your protection? Where is your peel? You do have that Lux, but sometimes it can get a little bit messy. But that means Team Secret is ready to just hammer down the pain and win through that method. For Galaxy Racer, I love this, classic Kai'Sa Braum. You usually get that Braum at least for that extra protection to at least mitigate any sort of kill potential. So I'm curious whether or not Chewy is able to get, his early cash-ins, his early kills on the Draven against a Braum and as well as a Kai'Sa in the dual lane.
Definitely. I mean, the League of Draven, I think, would help a bit when it comes to getting those goals, because every spinning act would lead to maybe a stack. Then if you get a kill, you get gold. So I think that's going to be the priority here for Team Secret, getting that Raven stacked up when it comes to items. And I like how the draft is looking at, because Team Secret is on to the balance. You have the Wukong, you have the Yasuo, and the Akali when it comes to the mid-game, late-game fights. And Draven and Lux is a priority when it comes to the early game. And GXR is looking at the same thing, but more hovering into the late-game potential. They have the Camille to go for the 4-1 setup. They have Kai'Sa, Braum, and Aurelion Sol to try and set it up. They're scaling champions, and if you give those items early for a Kai'Sa, the Acadian Rain is just gonna deal massive amounts of damage.
Yeah, you really cannot deny the power of an ASOL from early and as well as to late game objective fights, if you will. He's just gonna get that Celestial expansion in and just try to get as much as he can. JC's Aurelion Sol is definitely scary. We've seen how effective that is against the Nestle match yesterday. Unfortunately, they weren't able to finish the match, so they proved that Galaxy Racer is able to sort of win the early game as long as they get that set up. Now they have to figure out how they can finish a game after having that early game lead, especially they're up against Team Secret, who is currently at the top 2 of the current standings.
100%. I mean, they dominate when it comes to the early game. Panelists have thought it. NXP was just in a bit of a disadvantage. They got like 7 kills, wherein GXR was already 15, was already 17, 16, and they were at the 7k gold lead at one point in that game. And NXP is evenly matched against Team Secret right now. So if they can do it once again of GXR, what they did into NXP onto Team Secret, this might change a bit. And speaking of changing a bit, I think we haven't talked about our predictions, Riku, and I want to bring it up once again in this first game.
Predictions. Okay, so looking at the current draft, because I really loved how Team Secret performed. Galaxy Racer was very close in defeating Next Play yesterday. I'm gonna say 2-1 in favor of Team Secret. Galaxy Racer will be able to take 1 game off of the series.
And I'm not gonna disagree. It's gonna be 2-1. It's gonna go straight to game 3. But at the end of the day, with the powerhouse of a Team Secret draft, they're gonna take it home. But GXR is gonna take 1 game in their favor. And I'm waiting to be prove us wrong, GXR. Prove us wrong. Make it a 2-1 in your favor, and it's gonna be a beast of a match.
I mean, they really showed us what they're made of yesterday. I mean, Next Play, considering that they're the #1 team in Luzon at the moment, they've defeated and crushed Team Secret. And Galaxy Racer was just so close yesterday in that game #1. They just gotta replicate that performance. They have to replicate the punishes, because looking at this composition from Team Secret, you know they're gonna be aggressive. So Galaxy Racer has that ability to punish. They have the disengage, they've got the Aurelion Soul for that huge stun, and as well as a lot of damage output from the Graves, and as well as the Kaisa. So a lot on the line for Zivs as well as Xpear. The pressure is definitely on them, and as well as Ikaros to stabilize the lane, because most of the time his opposite laner would usually dominate. So this time around, biggest question is, how will Ikaros stabilize the Baron lane?
Absolutely. It's a 1v1 against Azar. If you can capitalize on it, get that early gold, punish Azar with that Akali, that's not gonna dominate when it comes to mid-game, late-game type of 5v5 team fights. And we saw Azar's capability when it comes to decimating the back line of an individual matchup. But now, let's head into the rift. There's gonna be game #1, GXR versus Team Secret.
Excited to see the early punish we were talking about. And now this is a 3-man roam going into the jungle of Team Secret.
With a Braum, they're capable of going in for the jungle invade. The champion of Xpear with that ranging capabilities of a Graves, that's also massive. But now, we're gonna have an early engage. It's a 3v3 situation. It's gonna be the early flash forced out by the Braum, and that is gonna be the first blood going to the side of Team Secret. Make it a 2 as Graves also falls down, and Zivs will fall down as well. It's a 3-4-0, and Team Secret is matching it up against GXR.
Yeah, that is a massive punish, but Tatsuri?
Ooh, GXR getting that stun onto Tatsuri. I think it was unexpected. Level 1 was the thing that Tatsuri was looking forward to, but when it hit level 2, it was just massive stun. JC just went in for the damage and just got the return of 1 kill for their team.
Yeah, that was such an amazing punish from JC, considering that I suppose Tatsuri did lose his Ignite earlier in the invade rather, at the red buff. So good call coming from JC at least, but still has to be a little bit careful off this Yasuo, considering the fact that Trevor is on that Wukong. It might be an easy gank. You are an Aurelion Soul, not a lot of instant mobility, if you will, to try escape some danger. Trevor though might look into a tower dive.
Indeed, as Trevor goes in for the ADC of GXR, Kaisa is gonna be in trouble, but let's change it up because we have Braum in the middle of a fight. It's a 3v1 as Draw falls down once again, and they're looking to go for the tier 1 turret into the Baron or Dragon.
Yeah, Dragon Lane first 2 minutes. Top side though, it's just a little bit of an exchange between Azar and Ikaros. Looking pretty close so far with our solo laners. First Azar and Ikaros here dueling it out, and then an Aurelion Sol and as well as a Yasuo, but JC was able to win that. But as we can see so far, Team Secret has been winning all of these lanes except for the mid lane. Surely though, for JC, would still able to win that first duel, but Tatsuri though is still going to be a big threat as the game goes, as he scales into the later stages of the game, which, you know, GXR probably, you know, tick-tick-tock, as Chewy has been dominating so far in the dual lane. We'll have to see whether or not JC will take a visit in the dual lane as well.
Absolutely. Level 5 already for JC, so absolute dominant when it comes to rotation. It's a rotation master. It is built into the skill kit of an Aurelion Sol. So if it is going to be utilized when it comes to the early game, they could punish the Raven and Lux. Considering that this is an Enchanter duo support, it could be very squishy for GXR to early punish Team Secret.
That's true. Both of these dual laners here, you know, Hamiz on the Lux, Tatsuri, or rather Chewy on the Draven, they're quite... they don't have a lot of mobility on their kit, so definitely a vulnerable dual lane for Galaxy Racer to target. But when it comes to... they are going to be heavily relying on that stun from JC. Problem is, Tatsuri is keeping him in check. He does have priority in the mid lane. That's the reason why JC is having a bit of a hard time trying to roam on towards the side of them.
Expert and Trevor though is gonna meet up. It's gonna be Trevor initiating the fight, and that is the forced dash away from Graves to go back to safety. The flash is now not gonna be available for GXR jungler to utilize into the dragon fight that may potentially occur in seconds after.
Yeah, that is hard. That is such a good... Like, I mean, it's like such a small thing, but that is huge on a Graves. Using your flash, you only have that one dash as well. So that's going to be very difficult. But JC moving towards top.
Can absolutely punch Kali. It's going to be the 1v3 as we have the exit ultimatum connecting onto Azar. Azar wants to for more. It's gonna be the flash away, but Azar wants to get a kill onto Ikaros, but Ikaros went in for the stun, and that is gonna be the recurrent call. Azar falls down, and that will be the kill that GXR is looking for.
Yeah, almost there. I thought Ikaros' life was in trouble, but as an exchange, Team Secret decides to get that first blood tower. But action is brewing in the mid lane.
It's gonna be the stun connecting onto Tatsuri, but no follow through. It's gonna be JC gonna fall down. Killer Instinct is gonna fall through though, as Trevor is gonna get stunned up by the concussive blows. Tatsuri is low. Trevor is low, but we have the counter call from Team Secret as Sims is gonna fall down. It's a double kill from Tatsuri. And that will be it, as Galaxy Razer is in a bit of a danger in that engagement, as we have Chewy going in for more. They want to go for kills, and another has been taken down by Team Secret, and Xpear is not going to be available as Ocean Drake is alive for Team Secret to take.
Yeah, Team Secret is just everywhere, and they're just winning all of these fights. I mean, it was a little bit worrying, as Ikaros just wants to duel and exchange a couple of blows here and there. But it's insane. It's insane. Azar might be in trouble. Here is GXR. Never mind. Anyway, Team Secret does manage to get the dragon at least. But you gotta be a little bit worried here for Galaxy Racer, because Team Secret is just claiming everything for themselves, including towers and as well as dragons.
And Team Secret could utilize the Ocean Drake very well. That Omnivap gives the sustainability for Azar, for Chewy, and Tatsuri. And they don't have like a role that would be like pure tank. We're gonna build pure tank for our champion. They don't have that. So having that extra sustainability from the Ocean Drake is gonna be utilized very well for their draft that we are looking at.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when we see Ikaros has been trading blows against Azar at the Baron lane. But now Team Secret, because of that first blood tower in the mid lane, TS was able to, you know, get control over the river portions of the map. That is actually such a huge thing, as Galaxy Racer just trying to pick up the pieces now and stay in their own territory. And at this point, Team, because of that map being open, they are the ones who have the ability to roam.
Cross going in for the stun onto Tatsuri, but a massive amount of damage is just too much to handle. Ikaru's HP is gonna be melted down onto half. Trevor is looking for another fight. Rip Herald is gonna be spawned out into the Baron lane, but we have the final spark. We have the ultimate. It's a 3-man knockup, and that is gonna be the kill. Tatsuri is gonna fall down, but the fight is not gonna be over as Glacial Fisher goes for the 2-man knockup as Rift Herald is gonna fall down, and GXR is happy with a 1-for-1.
Happy with the 1-for-1, but look at the tower and bottom lane, in the dragon lane. It was a 4v5 as, you know, Azar was just having a field day with that split push. With the 4-1, he brought the draft, and, you know, this onslaught from Team Secret is not stopping.
Oh, Celestial Expansion is just too much to have, but it's not gonna connect as Ju is just too fast, too quick. But we have the stargazing of JC just putting down Graven. And that will be it. But Team Secret is looking to go for more. Tatsuri is going in for the quick response. And we have the kill, we have the play. As Draw rather is gonna fall down. As JC is gonna have the Yasuo ultimate just right up into his face. And that is the double kill for Team Secret.
This is pure chaos, and of course we live for it as a bunch of fights happen at the top portion of the map. Galaxy Racer decided, okay, our bottom lane, our dragon lane is practically open thanks to Azar. Might as well try to equalize the tower kills, but unfortunately, you're a Graves. You're not really gonna do as much damage on towards the towers. You definitely need divs there with you to at least deal a huge chunk. Therefore, not a lot of chip damage was able to happen there, even though X-Spear decided to just, okay, exchange from topside fight. I'm just gonna push the lane here.
Yeah, at this point in time, JXR should be going on top of each other, grouping up together, and it is a much more susceptible risk to Team Secret to go for the Wukong Cyclone and Tatsuri with the ultimate. But at this point in the game, when you're 7-kill disadvantage with a 9k or 10k gold deficit, it's really not something that could be viable for your team to go 1v5. Because Team Secret is just too much to handle and go for those quick responses and go for those skirmishes. So GXR needs to stack up onto each other, maybe clear some waves in their favor to then go for the 5v1 in their favor at this point in the game. Azar is keep on split pushing. If they can punish this champion, they can now look to go for more.
Yeah, that's true, because when it's the 5 game, because Team Secret was just so ahead at the first 5 minutes of the game, they've managed to get Tatsuri up ahead, Azar with a bunch of kills earlier in the Baron lane fight. It's just so difficult to fight 5 and 5, because as you mentioned, Galaxy Racer will hope to get a fast pick, make it a 4v5, hopefully get that lead, hopefully get that numbers advantage, and then you transition that to objectives and as well as towers. But Team Secret, again, second dragon of the game, effortless because of that early map control. This is that domino effect that we saw, and now they're reaping the rewards.
And now GXR needs to look for an answer to cut out the domino effect that you've talked about, Riku. If it keeps on continuing, Team Secret is just gonna have a great time. But GXR, if they punish this, they cut out the line of 1 domino, they take out 2 dominoes out of that line, they could now try and go for the counter engages, counter attack on Team Secret. The Baron Asher is open, and this could be something that could cut out the domino effect from Team Secret.
That's true. I think GXR can find the timing. They do have the capability to do so. We mentioned earlier in the draft, JC on this Aurelion Soul will be that expert, will be that, you know, massive crowd control for Team Secret to sort of scatter and ruin their position. And they do have, again, a lot of damage as well as AoE on the board for GXR and as well as single target. So I think as long as they are able to focus who they need to kill first, I think for me, Draven would be their best shot. I think will be a little bit tricky to catch, considering the fact he has a bunch of dashes here and there, and has a lot of damage. And a little bit worried for GXR there, as Team Secret is now correlating in the top side.
Celestial Expansion is not going to connect. The ultimate is going to be forced out, as JC is not going to have any more ultimates ready when it comes to a team fight, because it was forced out by Team Secret. Secret is available for the massive setup. Trevor is available for the Cyclone. Tatsuri ultimate also available. So this is gonna be something that's very scary for GXR. They need to get that information because right now they're missing that aspect of the game. And now it's going to be Trevor going in for the cycle, and that's Surrey going in for the follow-up. Visual Fisher tries to delay the fight. It's Draven going in for some damage output. Double light binding root onto GXR as Braum, as Draw has 1 HP but still alive, and that is what matters in this game.
Yeah, that is definitely the go signal. Draw having to go away and go back to base and recuperate. That's gonna be a temporary 4v5, but now Team Secret is here.
Ooh, another root is gonna connect onto JC. Trevor is gonna delay the fight, trying to go for the knockoff. Draven goes for the kill. JC is gonna fall down. It's gonna be the double kill. Kaisa is gonna get melted down as Cream Man is gonna get obliterated from GXR. And Azar diving under the turret. He doesn't care about the turret damage as Draw is the only one remaining from GXR going 1v1. Spark just to delay the fight, dealing up massive amounts of damage as Azar just goes for poke. And he said, you know what, he can't handle it as GXR Draw kills of Azar in that fight. But at the end of the day, Team Secret has gained the Baron Nashor.
That's true. I mean, distracting Draw, we're able to get that Baron. You just lost one person. It's a pretty good deal as Galaxy Racer unfortunately were outnumbered in that engage from Team Secret. And again, you can tell how far ahead TS is when you see Tatsuri just walking straight towards GXR. No fear at all, no punish. And it's due to the fact that once GXR is sort of split in half. Again, GXR, they're the ones who's supposed to ruin Team Secret's positioning. They're the ones who's supposed to force Team Secret to scatter. But it was the other way around. At that point, GXR unfortunately lost that, and now this is their defense. They gotta turtle it out, see if they can punish anyone who's gonna be aggressive from Team Secret that will dive in the tower, under tower rather. But look at GXR, they're hoping to at least get a pick off of Azar.
Azar, they're 4-man looking to kill you. Hextech Ultimatum is gonna initiate a fight. It's gonna be the 1v1 for now, but not for long. Azar is low HP, final spark just to go for damage against GXR. The Twilight Drop giving him much more time, but that's the end of the day. You have 4-man looking to kill you, and that will not be enough to stay survive as Team Secret gets one inhibitor turn.
I suppose, you know, Galaxy Racer decided to offer a different approach, but unfortunately because of that Baron buff, Team Secret is able to just mow down 2 towers easily. Now Team Secret setting up a party brush in case anyone from GXR decides to take a peek, put some vision down because it's the Infernal Drake. That's the 3rd dragon of the game already. Galaxy Racer again trying to pick up the pieces, trying to get as much farm as they can within their territory. As TS is just so far ahead. They're basically walking in and out of fights and able to cash in more gold and as well as more objectives.
Draven already built up the Bloodthirster, Infinity Edge, Rapid Fire Cannon, and Mortal Reminder. And this damage from the Spinning Axe is just gonna melt you like butter. And if you're looking at other items as well, more specifically, I'm looking at Forever. He went in for Black Cleaver, damage her again. But when it comes to the mid game late game 5, they understand we don't have attack. So now, let's build out Randuin's Open, Spectre's Vow, and Seeks Convergence to at least recuperate the defensive capabilities that we are lacking in terms of the aspects of the game. So Team Secret, right move, smart move when it comes to the item set that they're picking up.
Yeah, definitely. They are trying to secure, you know, that itemization path to secure their victory, make them and allow them to just, again, walk in the fight and just be super aggressive, use their lead, no fear. Still a lot of respect against Galaxy Racer, even though they don't have the Baron buff. They decide to just try to see. The minion wave is building on the Baron lane anyway.
Ooh, but a fight is gonna occur once again. Glacial Fisher not gonna connect to anyone, and this is it. GXR doesn't want to go for more because this is gonna be very dangerous for them. XPR wants to go for clear wave. Final spark just to connect, but the stasis is gonna come through. Goes for a knockoff. It's Yasuo, it's Tatsuri. What are you doing? You're just decimating each and every one into the back line as GXR falls down to a single member remaining in their team as Team Secret is looking for the base. But Chewy wants to go for more. GA is getting popped in as Tatsuri is just waiting around the corners. Game 1 goes to Team Secret.